What's the motherfucking deal? Yo, I had to have y'all muted for just a second so we could talk some shit about y'all because y'all don't be acting right. What's the motherfucking deal, Sauce Nation, man? Welcome to Sauce Sports. If you're not familiar with Sauce Sports, say Houston, Texas, home network. We be talking all sports, but only Houston. With that being said, the freshest flavor in H-Town sports, man. We got three gentlemen from the round getting down with us this morning, afternoon, depending on whatever time it is, wherever you may be. Who we got in the mix with us today, man?
Man, it's Toxic City Tinny, and I'm here to bring your Houston Texans by the nose.
Ready? Who else we got in the mix with us tonight? No, today. Goddamn.
It's your boy Wise. Wise back in the midst. Shout out to Professor Trill because he the one that say I need to get back on the video, so you nigga back today.
Already. Fuck this like who else we got in the mix with us this afternoon, man?
Nigga, it's Third Coast Sports TV, nigga. You already know what it is. I got my eye on you hoe ass niggas because at the end of the day, we're gonna beat the fuck out of the meth mania maniacs. Sick of you hoes, nigga.
Already. So with that being said, man, let's see we got joining us real quick. Now y'all know how we get into it, man, for the pregame. We're gonna get down to the wire with keep you motivated, inspired, and we're gonna get a predictions. We're gonna have to mark my motherfucking words and all that good stuff at the end. But we got a lot of things to talk about today as we get into it. But let's see, we got join us and then let's dive into it because I know we got started a few minutes behind the daily day. Wink holding down the chat and the motherfucking stream. Titan for life, King Me. To Doom, something I have no idea. I can't. I'm fucking your name up. The video man, Dylan Terrell, Lil Wooddale. I'm glad you in the mix because make sure you show up after the stream because you stay talking that shit. So I hope you pull up after the stream after y'all take this L. King Dope, David Pritchard, Gilmore. What's the motherfucker? D Pritch, aka Texans Palace. If you're not following Texas Palace, you want the up-to-date news, you want to know who's going to be active, inactive, who's going to be in the mix, who's going to be out the mix. And as soon as Bill O'Brien get his ass fired, the first person that's going to give you that info is going to be Texas Palace. So make sure you follow Texas Palace on the gram. Gilmore 713, Sammy Sosa, Black Schultz, Tommy Arzell, Chopper Slim, what's the motherfucking deal? Leonard Avery, Texas Boy, Timo Flex, 335 in the building, holding it down. Mike B, what's the motherfucking deal? McCarty in the building. Hey Seuss, Tony McKee, DJ Waller, what's the motherfucking deal? Nady Dog, Boss Gamer, let me see. Justin, what's the motherfucking deal? T-Mac holding it down. Nathan, what's the motherfucking deal? DeMarkey, you ain't got no wrench in the sauce. Johnson, let's see. Professor Trill, what's the motherfucking deal? Jay LaMelle, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. DJ Roy, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. Arturo, what's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. Sammy. So did I get two shout outs? So I, CJ, and J Houston Sportscast. All right.
Yeah.
Broke clock right 2 times a day, a.k.a. Ray Ray. What's the motherfucking deal? Vincent 87 baby. What's the motherfucking deal? Let me see. G Rob, Texas boy. And if I missed you, I ain't dish your coat and I see you. DeAndre, what's the motherfucking deal? Rude boy. Danny MTZ, Young Poppy. What's the motherfucking deal? But hey, let's get into it, man. We got a lot to talk about. Only a little bit of time to do it. So, I want to make sure y'all hit that like button, man. That's first and foremost. Most important, the most important thing you can do is hit that like button. Let the whole world know you're rocking with the sauce this afternoon. So we got the Texans taking on the Titans, and it is going to be extremely interesting because this is the first of 2 games within 3 weeks, right? And these things can determine who comes out on top of the division, who moves forward into the playoffs. But there's a lot of stipulations, a lot of stigma, but we're going to focus on what's happening today. So the Texans go to Nashville, and it's been kind of off and on the last few years with that whole situation. We know, we've seen the Gabbard thing. We know the Titans are red hot right now. But I think, like a few things that come into play. And that is the X factor. What I've been saying is Weapon X, a.k.a. Will Fuller's going to be available today. Just a brief recap. And we haven't seen Toxic and we haven't seen Wiseman in a while, so I definitely want to get up to date on your thoughts because, like I said, it's been a minute since we got to chop it up with y'all. Just overall, quick, brief glimpse into today's game. How are you feeling about it, Mr. Toxic City Tenny?
Before I started looking at the game and really like trying to digest it and process it through my information center, I wasn't feeling too good about the game. Just for the simple fact is we're so volatile as far as the team goes. We're up and down. We could be really high and then we could be really low. So going into it, I was not very pleased. But after I took a look at a few of the things that I wanted to, I feel pretty confident. I think that this is our MO. The whole lose 1, win 2, that mantra is standing still and strong. I really feel that this game is not a trap game. It's not a game where we get to see what the Titans want to see, where they think they're taking over the fucking division. I think they've only ever won the division once in their fucking life. And at that, they still fucking suck. Tennessee Titan fans are just high on some bullshit that the rest of the league already knew. Yeah. Ryan Tannehill, a good quarterback, but he can't stay healthy. Sooner or later, he's going to get hit, and his pinky toe is going to be hurting, and he won't be able to play no more. So my first thoughts on this, we're going to win today.
So you feeling more confident about the game now that you looked into it a little bit more? Wise man, like I say, it's been a minute. Glad you're back in it. What are your thoughts on today's game, man? How you feeling overall about this outing today?
I mean, I think the Texans, they got to bounce back. You ain't got no option but to bounce back. When I seen Deshaun Watson pull up to the stadium, I seen a different swagger in him. I seen him that he was looking serious. I see that he was ready to go to work. So it's the last 3 games of the season. The playoffs start now. The playoffs don't start in 3 weeks. The playoffs start now. You got to beat Tennessee. You got to beat Tampa Bay. Then you got to beat Tennessee again. You ain't got no other options. I mean, I predicted the Texans to go 10-6. I expect them to go into Tennessee and whoop Tennessee ass. To be honest, I know Tennessee been on this heat streak. I'm listening to guys like Stephen A. Smith talking about he trusts the Titans more than he trusts the Texans, which makes no sense because I don't remember the last time the Tennessee Titans won a division in the AFC South. The defense, I'm not worried too much about the defense. Yeah, they had a horrible performance last week, but the offense is going to have to step up this week because the offense didn't put no points on the board last week. They started off sloppy with these mistakes, penalties, tons of jumping off sides. They got to have a cleaner game. We got to have a better game plan. And hopefully with Will Fuller coming back, we can go attack them deep. I mean, Will Fuller brings a different dynamic to this offense. So when Will Fuller plays, I feel confident about this offense ability to perform. And I think the Houston Texans come into this game with a dub.
Wink, your thoughts, man, overall. I know we've had different tones, different feelings throughout the week on this game, having some time to really marinate on it. How you feeling about this game today, man?
I mean, I came to the realization, bro, on the very same day that me and you did our stream, and I did a stream before that, and I was just like, nigga, we got Deshaun Watson. Will Fuller is playing. They can't stop him. Adoree Jackson can't run with him even when he was on the field, and he's the fastest corner they got. Logan Ryan sucks. I mean, sure, he's playing. I mean, yeah, I know they got a couple of corners that got four interceptions. Yeah, kudos to those niggas. Kudos to them. Great for them. They're finally doing something with their careers after being in this scheme for I don't know how long. I mean, Malcolm Butler, he ain't playing. He wasn't gonna make no difference anyway. The only people they got to rely on now they just pumping this Justin Simmons dude up. He's supposed to be Trill, I guess. But then when I go back and I go look at and I'm thinking about the teams that they really beat outside of the Chiefs, and we know the main reason why they beat the Chiefs. And now I did that drive, that last drive that Tannehill had was a great drive, so I can't say he came back and won them that game. But we're not gonna act like that wasn't on the back of Derrick Henry and how he was gashing the fuck out of the abysmal run defense of the Chiefs. At least at that point in time, I think if they would have played the Chiefs like next week, it would be a totally different thing. So they just beat them at a time where they were just getting Mahomes back. The run defense was putrid. They still got 4 touchdowns thrown at them by Patrick Mahomes with well over 400 yards. I mean, if we going, it's a shootout. Come on, shootouts have not served the Tennessee Titans well against the Houston Texans. I'm going off of our history. I know goofy ass Titans fans gonna be like, "Oh, that was last year." Bro, it's your history against us. It's been the history. When we put up 21 points or more against you, y'all do not perform well against us, bro. Y'all just don't. It's a team where we have y'all number over the last 10 years. If J.J. Watt would have been playing on the field, then we definitely would have ate against every last one of you. Like, your right tackle will be mincemeat. But I'm hoping that they ride with Jacob Martin from the get-go. I hope they don't play Brennan Scarlett a lot, because these is one of the things schematically, and they think that this shit doesn't matter because if we don't have our best players on the field and if they're not calling coverages that the people that we have on this football team in place to do, then of course they can win the game. It's the only way they can win. The only way they can win. Breakdowns in communication. Romeo Crennel calling bullshit to Tampa 2 defenses when he doesn't have to, and not playing guys like Jake Martin off the edge to rush to Ryan Tannehill. When you don't do shit like that, that's how you lose football games. I'm pretty sure the Texans on offense is gonna start off slow. I don't see them starting off hot. I mean, they could, but I'm not banking on it. Deshaun Watson is going to have a stellar day. I'm not worried about him at all. Everybody was even saying, yeah, he going to have a better day out of these 2 quarterbacks, but people thought that the Titans would win the game. Okay, we'll see. Because if we win this game, then what they going to say? They're going to jump right back on Dick, right? Like they always do.
Yeah,
Titans was in this exact same position last year. They're in this exact same position now because last year they was beating some notable teams right before they got to us. The Patriots, they had just ran through them, and now somehow they see it's time for them to see the Texans again, and we're finna pull their skirt up.
Yeah, but I want to get back to what you were talking about as far as, because that's the next point I wanted to get to. With these slow starts, man, how much of an impact do you feel like this is going to have on setting the tone for this game? We'll start with Wink and then work our way back around.
It doesn't really matter because it doesn't really matter, Honcho. I mean, it's something that we would like to see, and it only looks bad when you put up those numbers for the first quarter and shit like that. But why is nobody talking about the second quarter and beyond? Nobody's talking about what we've done in fourth quarters. Nobody's talking about what we've done in third quarters. Matter of fact, second half team, I don't think there's been no other offense that's been able to adjust the way that the Houston Texans have throughout the season. You could probably add Tennessee in the mix of how they played against the Oakland Raiders last week. Yeah, I see some of the performances. I seen some of the shit that y'all doing. Y'all got a couple of like 2, 3, 40-point games you guys have scored. Kudos to you. It's only going to make the ass whooping even worse because just like y'all been saying, y'all been averaging 31, 43, 35, this and that. Okay, let's see what you do against the Houston Texans. Well, our defense was trash when you seen us last year, and look at what we did to you. Our defense been trash. Our defense been trash since after 16. So from 17 up to now, and we still have opportunistic against y'all. We still cause turnovers. We still get sacks, and we still get double-digit wins against you. Correct me when I'm wrong, but y'all have maybe 1 or 2 games where you've held DeAndre Hopkins under 100 yards.
The nigga been eating on y'all since his rookie season, and he's gonna do it again now. And now since he got his pal Will Fuller to run you hoes rampant, how are you gonna stop that? Rashawn Evans, Harold Landry, get the fuck out of here. I'm not worried about none of them dudes. Motherfucking Jarrell Casey ain't playing against Senio Killametti and motherfucking Julian Davenport this season. Or Lamb. You're not playing against them this season. You're not playing against them. Let's see what you do against Max Sharpen and motherfucking Laramie Tunsil. Yeah. Laramie Tunsil, get your shit together, bro. This ain't the game for you to be having no motherfucking brain for it.
We definitely gonna get on that in just a second. But Wise, man, the way these Texans have been starting off these games, do you think that puts them in a deficit, or do they basically make them have to play against themselves? They starting off slow, letting teams kind of get a jump on them. Do you think that's gonna be an issue today, or do you think it's just an overrated stat?
I don't think it will be an issue today, but going into the playoffs, yes. Because when I'm looking at the Texans, it's not like they're not moving the ball early in the game. It's just mental errors. You get to second down, and then next thing you know, we get a holding penalty. And then it's 2nd and 20. Then we have all these illegal formation calls. Then we have dudes jumping off sides. It's discipline. It's the same things we've been seeing over the last couple of years, but this year is just impacting us in the beginning of the game. So I don't think it will have a huge impact in this game because, like Tenny said, I don't give a fuck about no Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans never put fear in my heart ever since once. I don't care when they had Vince Young, when they had Chris Johnson, when they had I forgot his name off the top of my head, but Liddell, the running back in the day, USC. Lindell, yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Hey, y'all say what y'all want to. That nigga CJ2K was that dude. I can hate on the Titans all I want to. That nigga CJ2K was a motherfucker.
Yeah, CJ2K, Pac-Man Jones, fucking Javon Curse are like they best players of all time.
Curse, yeah, and they always had these superstar players, but they just can't put it all together against the Houston Texans. So today, I think since like we said, Deshaun Watson got Will Fuller back. Look for us to go deep early. Adoree Jackson, I mean, he's pretty fast, but he don't got no good man cover skills. He does not know how to jam at the line. He's too weak. DeAndre Hopkins gonna have a big game today. I'm not worried about nobody on the Tennessee Titans defense. These guys, they want to brag and boast. They've been having all these good performances, but I haven't seen them lock up no good teams. All I've seen them do is beat the Raiders, beat all these scrub mark teams. I mean, they about to play the Houston Texans. They about to see a new offense. They about to see what Duke Johnson can do against them. They about to see Carlos Hyde just run over dudes. I just think that Bill O'Brien has to stay with the same game plan from the first quarter all the way to the fourth, because you can tell throughout all of these games the game plan changes. They make these adjustments. Why don't you just start off the game aggressive? I mean, I don't understand that. When you're looking at the beginning of the games, you can predict the offense. Run the ball on first down, throw the ball, screen. We still running the same plays we've been running the last 3 or 4 years. So I think that you just have to start off with a different game plan. You have to start off with an aggressive game plan. And I think that the stat is overrated. But when it comes into this game and it goes into the playoffs, you have to stay aggressive. You can't just go and be conservative. We've seen what the Denver Broncos did against us. We played conservative against them. We tried to meet their game plan. Like we've been preaching about this for the last couple of years. When we play certain teams, we try to match their game plan instead of having our own identity. And this is a point in time where you got to have your own identity. Like you said, it's December football. We got to be ready. We got to be on our P's and Q's, and we got to drop our nuts on the motherfucking Tennessee Titans' head.
Tim, man, your thoughts? Texans starting slow. How much of an impact is that going to have? Do they finally get it right today? What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's the most consistent thing about this team. We've just had these slow starts. But, I mean, the Tennessee Titans has got to realize one thing. We're about to slide in those moist vagina lips and make ourselves at home like we usually do. These guys, they've already lost their first game again. They lost their first game against the Colts. They lost their first game against the Jags. The reason, Tennessee Titans fans, why you're not number one in the AFC South right now is because you don't know how to control the AFC South. So this slow start means nothing to me. I'm not worried about it. I've seen this team go down, 17-0 against the Kansas City Chiefs and then fight their way back and win that game. Tennessee Titans, I mean, it's always been a situation where, honestly, I mean, we can have a slow start, we can have a hot start. I don't care how this game really goes. I just know we're gonna fucking win it. It's just the fact of the matter is that we come out slow. But the one thing that I'm looking at is that this Houston Texans team, I have a feeling they're going to have another bounce-back game. They've been doing this. They lose one, then they have a bounce-back game. And it's all about proficiency. The numbers don't really matter. We don't have to put 400 fucking yards down your throats. We don't have to do that. All we have to do is be proficient, get down to the red zone, and score on y'all. I mean, right now, yeah, you're allowing, 19 points per game or whatever the Tennessee Titans are. But that's not even the case of the matter. The Houston Texans got one of the best red zone offenses they've had in the last 6 years. I mean, you don't want us near the 20. And usually after a loss, we come into the game and we're more proficient. The T's are a little bit less. They're not that bad. They don't affect us as much. We're constantly going to be trying to find a way to move the ball. And the worst part about it is y'all haven't seen a balanced Texans attack like we have right now. The passing game and the running game is both combined to where we get you with either. And you're not doing too well against the whole fucking facet of what your defense can do. Tennessee Titan fans just really got y'all have had the talent to be a playoff talent to be winning this AFC South. I pay attention to all 4 teams in the AFC South. Y'all have had the talent. Y'all just don't have the organization to get you there. You fuck around, you fire your fucking coaches, and you go get our leftovers. The leftovers we didn't even fucking want. Like, we took one bite and we was like, nah, we done with Vrabel. Fuck that shit. Y'all go get him. He's supposed to be y'all savior. Look, I'm telling you right now, Houston Texans are about to win this game. Just relax. It's a lot easier when you fight. People get bruises.
Okay. Here's my thoughts on that with the whole, starting off slow thing, and I've kind of noticed in a couple of games. With that being the case, I think teams are more likely to, if they, win the toss, whatever, decline to defer to the second half. And that's when I think that it kind of puts an issue on the Texans, because if you get down early, then you give teams that opportunity. Because I want to believe it was the Patriots game. They deferred. They had a chance to do it. I think the Broncos game, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Broncos, they deferred too, if I'm not mistaken. And so when you're down, and if you already giving that team a lead and you're not playing well, if the defense is not showing up, then that gives teams that opportunity to kind of compound on that lead, and that kind of will put you in a situation. And we know when Bill is in a situation, it's not always great. That's my only issue with the stat. Other than that, like I say, the numbers are there. Now, somebody said something in the chat. Sam Fisher, shout out to Sam, man. Noticeable stat, and I didn't know this, but we've talked about it, because, you can see it with your eye. It's the eye test is always first, and then when you see a player jump off the field to you, you're like, well, what's going on with this guy? Let me see what's, let me look at his numbers. Let me see his stats. Huge difference. 35 points per game to basically 19 per game with and without Will Fuller. And we talk about Weapon X. We talk about the X Factor. We talk about how much of an impact Will has on this game. Even if he can go a half and be a threat early, even if his presence is there, you have to respect it, because that's a guy that can kill you. You know what I'm saying? He can hit you with a one-hitter quitter and put you in a real bad spot. You have to respect it. He takes a lot of pressure off of Hopkins when on the field. And then if you have him steals and Hop all on the field, you can get a little bit more creative. You can move Hop around, put him in the slot. You can do a lot of different things with him. And I think that makes this offense significantly more dangerous. But, Tin Man, you said that you were going over some numbers prior to, and you saw some interesting things. I would love for you to share that with us, kind of let us know what you came across, what you found interesting, as far as looking at these Titans.
So basically what I was looking at how the Titans have gone and performed throughout these last few games. The one thing I did notice is Tannehill is not playing the most cleanest of games. He has quite a few interceptions just from the short sample size that you've had from him. So getting him to turn over the ball is not going to be a problem whatsoever. These Tennessee Titans, they really work through Derrick Henry, and that's their main goal. So if we could sell out against the run, force Tannehill to beat us with the talent that he has around him, that's going to be a difference maker. Because let me tell you something right now. I went through and looked at our losses and wins, and this defense is basically, our defense, the Texans defense, is basically giving up the same kind of numbers when we lose and win. There's not a big discrepancy behind what we're doing. So forcing the Tennessee Titans to have to go outside of Derrick Henry is going to be paramount to what we want to do today. That's what the defense needs to do. As far as the offense goes, I mean, it's been a trend. You know the trend. It's called lose one, win two. In these losses, I mean, you look at everything from the Saints all the way down to the Broncos game that just happened. Deshaun Watson's stats. How does he affect the game? We go as Deshaun Watson goes. His rating in the losses are 114.3 against the Saints, 75.3 against the Panthers, 81.5 against the Colts, 63.7 against the Ravens, 63.1 against the Broncos. Now, in our wins, the only outlier game are those first two games. And then you got the Jags at a 70.9. You got the Falcons at 108.3. Then you have the Raiders at 115.2. The Colts at 104.6. It's very, 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 very easy to sit here and say, look at this game and look at what the Tennessee Titans provide as far as defense against the pass. It's a very easy game for Watson to walk out of here with 115 rating, 120 rating. And in the wins that we have right after the loss, he's 10 touchdowns for 1 interception. So let that sink in, Houston Texans fans. You're about to get a proficient, efficient Deshaun Watson today. He's coming in. And as much as I shit on O'Brien, the game after a loss, he is so much more well prepared. I think a lot of our wins and losses go straight to the coaches this year. It's not a player talent issue that I think that we're lacking. I think it's a scheme issue. We're not, but after we lose a game, everybody feels it on their chin and they come back out swinging.
I think that's what it is. Sometimes you got to get your head knocked around a little bit to get your mind back right. You can get to kind of feeling yourself. You can kind of get to, smelling yourself a little bit. And sometimes, that's actually a good thing. Wise, man, looking at this, kind of looking like what Tenny said, scheme issue, looking at Watson and the impact that he has on this game. How do you feel? Is it going to be more of what Watson does? Can we utilize the run more? What is going to be the biggest impact on this game, in your opinion, as far as individual players and or personnel?
I think it comes down to the total game plan. I mean, you got to get DeAndre Hopkins involved early, because in some of these games, we're not getting Hopkins involved early. We're not getting Hopkins involved towards the end of the second quarter and then the second half. Will Fuller we need to start hitting Will Fuller more. We need to see Kenny Stills more. We need to get Kenny Stills the ball more, because I don't know why we don't attack these guys. I mean, the tight end's been having some big games this season. I mean, look at Jordan Akins. Jordan Akins been making some big plays. Darren Fells been making some big plays. I mean, we just got to spread out the whole attack. We can't just be targeted on one guy. We can't just be targeted on the run game. We got to have a balanced attack. I mean, Tennessee, they got some fast linebackers. They got a couple of okay corners. But when I'm looking at their safeties, I'm not worried about their safeties. I'm not worried about guys that's over the top on coverage. I mean, you sending Will Fuller on a post route, you sending Hopkins on an underneath route, something gonna be open. Kenny Stills, we got to utilize him. Offensive line, I'm not worried about the offensive line, but one thing I've been waiting to see from Deshaun Watson, and yes, he does make plays on the ground. He does make plays with his feet. But when he's dropping down back in that pocket and he got the ball for 5-6 seconds and it's a coverage sack, we can't blame the offensive line. That sack is on Deshaun Watson. I mean, I understand some of the receivers ain't going and creating separation. Guys ain't getting open, but you can make plays with your feet. We seen it, Deshaun Watson. We seen where you can go for a 70-yard run touchdown. We seen where you can make these 50-yard plays. We seen when you can make 30-yard runs. You got to make plays with your feet. I mean, the same thing that I see Lamar Jackson doing, Deshaun Watson can do that. Plus, he got a better arm. Plus, he got better talent on the offensive side of the ball. So, these next 3 games, I'm gonna put him on Deshaun Watson's back. I want to see what he's gonna do. I want to see if this team can step up to the competition level, beat the Titans, dominate the Titans, run away with this division, and have Deshaun Watson say, "This is my team. I'm the leader of this team. No J.J. Watt, no Jadeveon Clowney, nobody else." I mean, the only 2 leaders that I can see on this team right now is DeAndre Hopkins and Deshaun Watson. So everything is falling on Deshaun Watson's back. This is his type of games. It's prime time. Whenever it's time to put the game on his back, he always performs. So for me, I want to see a huge performance out of Deshaun Watson. And that don't have to be 300 yards passing. That don't have to be 400 yards passing. That can be 200 yards passing, 150 yards passing, 2 or 3 touchdowns, and then running that rock. That's what I want to see today from Deshaun Watson in this offense.
And 45 deep, 55 likes. Man, hit that like button. I don't care if you don't like. I don't care if you're a Titans fan. Goddamn, hit the like button. Hit the goddamn dislike button. Do something. Look, let me see that you're alive in this motherfucker. But here's the deal. Wink, looking at this team from a player standpoint, we know we can already talk about scheme. I think we've addressed that throughout the week, multiple times, and how we all feel about Bill O'Brien. What player, Deshaun included, who's going to have to step up to make this, to solidify this for a win, solidify this as a win for the Texas State? Who's going to have to be the man?
I mean, having Will Fuller on the field is already a threat in itself because they pretty much have him to go back and forth, and I think they pretty much prepared him having to play on this football field. But I think Duke Johnson getting back involved in this damn passing game as well is, bro, they don't have anybody anywhere who can fucking hang with Duke Johnson if we dump him the ball down in the back and he makes a dude miss. You get him involved if there's somehow, some way. I'm not suggesting that. I mean, if it were me, I would get him involved in the screen game. But they're not going to do that. This is Bill O'Brien. We're talking about running screens to fucking running backs and tight ends. It's not something he's doing. Darren Fells is going to be. He's going to have to be exemplary today. I think this is one of them games where he's really, really, really going to have to, when he's targeted, he's going to have to come up with everything. They're going to have to be real physical as far as the run blocking. And Carlos Hyde is really going to have to run that rock as well as he has all season because he's been out of the mix for quite some time. He was getting it going against the Denver Broncos, but we got behind. And, O'Brien wants to victim blame his DC when he knows he's had these type of problems all season. But now because it's Denver at your house, now you want to say something. That's a bitch move to me, but it is what it is. Duke Johnson, I really believe he'll be able to really, 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 really step up because I'm not worried about Derrick Henry or Deion Lewis. Deion Lewis sucks. Everybody wants him out of fucking Tennessee. You can't rely on him for no reason whatsoever. And I just feel like, man, as long as these dudes is playing man on man and on the defense, I could really give a shit about anything else they do. If you want to get creative and bring some blitz, some stunts, some dogs, anything like that, that's fine. I'm not against that. But you have to win your matchups. Period. That's really what it's going to be. It's just going to be a game of matchup. And I feel like Duke Johnson, hands down, is going to be able to win every single matchup if he's targeted and if he's a heavy emphasis on the game plan this week.
And you would like to see kind of something similar to what they did against the Patriots, kind of rely a little bit more
Absolutely.
on Duke. And I don't know why they got away from that. I don't know why, and again, like I said, but we talk about time to time, that game plan, that scheming, that whole situation. Now, it's very interesting that you mentioned about him blaming the DC when Tenney just said, he went over the numbers, and the numbers basically for the defense have been consistent. So it is what it is. You knew what it is when you said, I vouched for Rack last year, and then you brought it back. But let's flip the script. Let's be fair, or as fair as we can be. We're obviously biased. We're all Texans fans. It is what it is. And make sure if you're watching now to tune in immediately after the game. We will be live for the post-game show. Patreon supporters, make sure you are in the Discord. We will be chatting live, so make sure you're a part of that. But make sure y'all tune in, and we'll have the phone lines open. Whether you're a Titans fan, Tex fan, you can call. Tyrell, I'm looking for you specifically. We got a conversation to continue. But
you talking about Bozo the Clown, the dude who was talking 45 minutes about the goddamn Super Bowl that he didn't win?
Like I say, we're going to continue that conversation. It should be very interesting. Shaolin, I'll be looking for a call from you too.
Shaolin in here?
Yeah, he in the mix. But like I say, looking at the other side of the ball, and let's try to give a fair shot to the Titans. What is the Titans' best option when it comes to, what do they need to rely on in your opinion? What is it going to take from them to secure a win versus the Texans today?
Physicality and trickery. How they won games against us in the past. That's it. I mean, unless they do something that Bill O'Brien is just not prepared for, like a fake field goal or, and if this team just chooses not to be physical, the best thing that I can give the Tennessee Titans to even be in this game or let alone win the game is going to be due to their physicality. They're just going to be a little bit more physical or much more physical. It depends on what teams decide to show up. I'm expecting this team to show up. I mean, I understand for every Texans fan who feels or has a bad feeling, I understand. Will y'all be Prophet Ray this week? I don't know. But we will see. I'm not entirely sure. This is the Denver Broncos, bro, outside of bad quarterback play and Bradley Chubb and Derek Wolf going down. Honestly, they've been in games all season. But when we're talking about the Tennessee Titans, it's just they've lost to a bunch of sorry-ass teams. When you go back and go look at their losses, they lost to some bum-ass teams. Bro, how the fuck y'all lose to them? Y'all are way more physical football team than that. I understand certain shit happens at certain points in the year. We've kind of, we lost a game here, we lost a game there. Most of our losses were like at the beginning or middle of the season. You know what I'm saying? So this is the only loss that we have at the end of the season. And it's just like, where does this team want to stack up when it comes to the rest of the teams in the AFC? And the only thing that the Tennessee Titans have going for them, regardless of they have defense, is that if they can be a physical football team and turn Super Saiyan 2, then that's about the only thing that I can seriously see them having going for themselves. I'm willing to give them that credit that they are a very, very physical fucking football team. And when they beat dudes up, they beat dudes up. But they don't do that to the Houston Texans ever. Even in their wins, they don't do that. So that's what I'm banking on. History repeats itself.
No, to me, in my opinion, with the loss there, I think I ain't gonna harp too much on them having losses. Like, how did you lose? Because I think we got a couple of them on the record, and then I also think that we know the pattern, but I think it's stupid as shit that we have a pattern of a win-loss record, lose one win. I think that's the dumbest shit in the world. Like, I know everybody, the pattern is staying true. The pattern is, and that's cool, but it's fucking. It should not be like that. You should be beating who the fuck you're supposed to beat, and at least being competitive in these fucking games. But for some reason, I don't know what else to expect from a Bill O'Brien-led team. There's a pattern with the Houston Texans and how they operate this year. But the pattern says the Texans should win this game. But, wise man, your thoughts as far as looking at the Tennessee Titans, what is their biggest advantage over the Houston Texans? What gives them the best chance to win today?
Just like Wing said, is being physical. I mean, all they have to do is come out there, punch the Texans in the throat like the Denver Broncos did last week. Show them they ain't afraid of the Houston Texans just because you beat the New England Patriots, just because you beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And they just got the Titans just got to come out here and attack. I mean, if they see our defense lining up in the Tampa 2 defense once again, and then you see guys lining up 7 to 10 yards off of coverage, then go ahead and attack those underneath routes, attack those slant routes, attack those drag routes. Go ahead and dink and dime, because, I mean, the Texans love to give up that dink and dime, and teams always dink and dime. They move the ball up the field, and then they get that one big play, and it's a touchdown. We get a bonehead mistake. We get a pass interference. We get a defensive holding in the secondary. I mean, guys jumping off sides. I mean, that's all they got to come out and do is be physical. Look at the Texans' weaknesses and basically attack the whole time. I mean, I don't think the Tennessee Titans can do that, but it's always a possibility with Rat's game plan. I mean, Rat's game plan, I've been harping and preaching, man, can we just play man coverage? I see guys like Conley on the sideline. I want to see Conley. I want to see Hargraves. I want to see Lonnie Johnson. I want to see I'm missing one more person. I can't think. Conley, Hargraves, Lonnie Johnson, Roby. Those 4 guys, I want to see on the field. I want to see us play quarters defense sometimes. I want to see us play a dime package. I want to see us play a nickel package, but we don't do that. You see Jacob Martin on the sideline, like Wing said earlier. We know this guy has all the speed in the world to rush that edge, but this guy's on the sideline, and he can't get sacks on the sideline. He can't make plays on the sideline. If we ain't using the right personnel, then the Titans recognize that, then they're going to go ahead and attack us, and that's how they're going to get the win over us. If they if they capitalize off of those opportunities. But that's the only way the Tennessee Titans has a chance of beating us is if the Texans beat themselves.
10-man, what are your thoughts? What is the advantage that the Tennessee Titans have over the Texans? How do they come out with a win over the Texans in this game?
The advantage they got is that they need to make sure that they take control of time of possession. You can't let Deshaun Watson and this offense start to establish a rhythm. Because, like I said earlier, we are more balanced than you have ever seen us before on the offensive side. We can get you on the ground and we can get you through the air. It used to be that we had to go through the air to get anything to get going. And then way back in yonder years, back in 2011, 2012, we actually had a better setup. We had Arian Foster. We could lean on him. We could lean on Andre Johnson. Y'all remember those days, especially if you're an old Titans fan or old Texans fan. Some of you new ones, you young ones that was born in 2008, y'all don't know about that one yet. But what's going on right now, we can get you with Hyde. And if we get Duke Johnson involved, we can get you with him. If you can keep us off the field, we're not going to get a rhythm going. But that's going to be difficult because your pass defense sucks dick. Like big dog dick. Like from here to the wall. All right? So y'all suck. I don't expect y'all to be capable of doing that. I expect us to give you a gimme game at the end of the year. That's probably the only way y'all going to win. Y'all going to, as usual, Tennessee Titans will finish in the AFC South 3-3 because y'all motherfuckers just suck.
They don't play well in the division. And why is that? Like, they can beat a team like the Chiefs. They can beat the Patriots, but they fucking suck in the division. They're the worst team to playing another team in the division. I don't understand why that is. They suck in the division.
With Rabel, Merlarkey, and I forget the other motherfucker's name. None of them ever focused on the division. They focused out of the division. They go beat a team like the Seahawks. They go beat a team like the Patriots. They'll do that. They're on board for that, but they do not want to beat the Colts, Jags, and Texans in a clean sweep. I think last year they only swept the team, and I think it was like the Jags. No, it wasn't even the Jags. Was it the Jags? Yeah. So
it was the Jags.
It doesn't make sense with what they do. Like I said, they've had the talent to win this division, but there is no vision in that organization. You can take that shit to the bank. Fuck that bitch that owns the Oilers name. Fuck them motherfuckers that took that team from Houston because that's y'all's team now. I got my team, the Houston Texans, and you know what we're going to do? We're going to win today.
That's what I'm talking about. So, very interesting. I agree with y'all, man. Physicality, and I think that's what basically, in my opinion, that's all Denver did to outplay the Texans. They got physical. They were physical, but between the whistles, they was physical after the whistle, and I think that put some kind of impression on the Texans. We've talked about, the lack of dogs and the lack of proper personalities to get this team fired up, and I think the Texans got bullied last week. The Titans could come out and do the same thing if Rack decides, he wants to get in the zone, auto zone, that they'll take advantage of that just the same way Locke was able to do. Like I don't know what he's thinking with that. We saw what the success was. Like I said, I would like them to come out and then give you a similar look to what the Patriots did, to what they did against the Patriots. To me, that has the best chance of success. But it is what it is. So,
and Honcho, we don't want to let Titans fans think that we making excuses, nigga. We have real coaching problems. We have real schematic issues that are apparent in all of our losses this season. It was either we weren't physical, and we played the wrong defensive scheme that put the offense in a horrible situation. This has happened every single game we have lost. If you win, it will be because of physicality and defensive. If y'all start seeing a bunch of cover two and you seeing linebackers trying to get back in the depths of 10 to 15 yards, just know that they weren't lying. And then when MJ, Titans tube, all these motherfucking tubers y'all got, and when they say what they were able to take advantage of, just know it will be the middle of the field. That's the only thing you're gonna be able to exploit if Romeo Cornell hands it to you.
Is Scarlett even in the mix tonight? Because I know he was on the.
I don't know. I don't know.
It doesn't matter. Like I say, I think that.
Pritch, go ahead and get on that. We need that info.
I'd rather have, like I say, Martin on the field. My only thing with Martin, like I said, is if he's to me a liability in the run game,
Right.
So, it'll be interesting to see exactly what happens with that whole situation. But it's kind of getting around that time, so we're going to get, because usually we get the predictions all late and all that. So for you in the chat, and I want to know what y'all feel, I want to know what y'all think, man. We got a thing around here. If you're new to this, we call it Mark My Motherfucking Words. Hashtag MMMFW. Lil Wooddale, make sure you hear after the game, because we're going to be on your ass. But Mark My Motherfucking Words means you need to make a bold prediction, not a score prediction. Score prediction and bold prediction are two different things. Score prediction, we say that for very last. But Mark My Motherfucking Words is making a bold prediction, which means who's going to have a standout game statistically, who's going to make an exceptional play, put a prediction on something that's going to happen in this game that is not common. So, if you say, well, Deshaun's going to go out, he's going to have 222 yards and 2 touchdowns and, whatever. That's a common line. So a bold prediction means going out on a limb and saying somebody's going to do something, except it don't have to be Watson. It could be in the running game. It could be somebody making a spectacular play on defense, but a bold prediction that's out of the ordinary. So that's the Mark My Motherfucking Words. So make sure you put your Mark My Motherfucking Words in the chat. We'd definitely like to read that. We'll start with the 10-man, and then we'll work our way around, and we'll say the score prediction for very last. 10-man. What is your Mark My Motherfucking Words on this game today?
Words goes for the Houston Texans offense, and in their rushing game. Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson will combine for over 150 yards and 2 TDs, along with Deshaun Watson throwing an additional 2 TDs with 350 yards passing.
Mm.
All right, Wise Man. What is your Mark My Motherfucking Words for this game with the Texans versus the Tennessee Titans, man?
Can I make one for both sides of the ball?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So for the offensive side of the ball, I'm gonna say Deshaun Watson has 5 total TDs, 4 passing TDs and 1 rushing TD with 100 yards rushing today.
Fucking took mine, Wise. God damn it, bro.
Yeah.
And then on the
still
defensive side of the ball,
say it in a different way.
yeah. And then on the defensive side of the ball, I'm gonna say Whitney Merciless comes up with 2.5 sacks.
Okay. You said Watson would have how many total passing? I thought I missed that.
4 passing TDs and 1 rushing TD, and then 100 plus yards in rushing for Watson today.
Okay, all right. That's
Damn.
And Mercer's with 2.5 sacks. Okay, all right. Really, Wink, man. Mark my motherfucking words. What you got on this one, man?
Well, I was gonna preface mine like this. This will be the third year in a row where Deshaun Watson has a game against the Tennessee Titans where he has 5 total touchdowns. So it can be all passing, it could be 3 rushing, it could be any way. I'm just predicting 5 total touchdowns for Deshaun Watson. DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller will both combine for 125 yards plus, and they will end up sharing 4 of the passing touchdowns that I predict that Wise will end up throwing when he said that Deshaun Watson will throw 4 touchdowns. Those 2 they will eat. I see Duke Johnson. He could very well get 5 receptions for 80 yards if they target him. And as far as the defense, if they play Jake Martin, they play him. He's going to get 4 sacks against Ryan Tannehill today.
That's a bold.
He's going to get 4 sacks.
Okay.
Jack Conklin is food, bro. He sucks.
Okay.
He sucks.
Okay.
And I got one for special teams. And I hate to say it, Kaimi Fairbairn is going to miss 2 field goals and 2 PATs.
Damn, you missing everything.
It's going to happen.
Okay. Yeah, all right. I see a couple of interesting ones in so in the chat here, man. I see Texas come out and wet the bed again. Oh, that's tough. Let's see. Martin for 2 sacks with a strip sack and recovery. I see Will Fuller gets 2 TDs over 100 yards. I see beast mode. Down south, I say Watson throws 4 for 300 yards and rush for 50. Let's see. Hopkins goes for 175, 2 TDs. Merciless finally wakes his ass up, gets 2 sacks and a forced fumble.
He better.
Okay. We score on the first drive finally today. I already chopped a slim. Let's see. Kenneth, this nigga say Derrick Henry gonna rush for 140 yards and 2 TDs. So if that's how you feel.
Okay, all right. That's cool.
Vernon Hargraves gets 2 picks. Okay. Mark my motherfucking words. God damn it, Heidi, I can't fucking stand you. I hate Heidi. I hate Heidi with
What's
all the
Heidi
hate.
Klein talking about?
Heidi says, mark my motherfucking words, Romeo Cornell will look fat.
Yeah, I think he'll be a smidgen over obese when the game is over. I think
Yeah, they're gonna be
you know
eating snacks
he
at
get a
halftime and
Gatorade in
shit.
his system,
Look, he got that
and his
clipboard.
bills will finally
He
pop
got
off
that
his stomach.
that clipboard that open it like that contains shit. You think pencils and shit in there. This nigga got little Debbie snacks inside the clipboard. He popped that bitch open. When the camera ain't looking at him, they know where the camera's at. Fuller got 2 TDs, 140 yards. Okay, I see you. Mark DeMarkey says 173 TDs for Fuller. Okay. Derek says Hopkins with 3 TDs. Mark Motherfucker 350 and 5 TDs. Okay. Jake Martin 2+ sacks. Mark Motherfucker 0 false starts for Tunsil.
Go get your water.
Tannehill passing Lamar in the MVP race today. Okay. Fuller 150 and 3 tubs. Okay. Let's see. Tulsa have a couple of 0 false starts. All right. Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Game will be one in the trenches. I definitely agree with that. And if that is the case, it's going to be very interesting to see. I'll give y'all mine, man. Like I say, even though it's because I'm trying to keep in line with my score prediction. And so I think I'm going to put all mine in one thing. Because mark my motherfucking words, it's a little different. But I guess we want to look at the defense side of the ball. I will say that the defense comes away with 5. I'm gonna combine. I'm gonna say 3 sacks and 4 tackles for a loss, but 2 takeaways. One by Roby, and then I'm gonna give my young dog Lonnie some love today, man, and let Lonnie get one. But I'm gonna save my offensive one for the score prediction. So we'll start with Wink, man, and we'll work our way back around. Score prediction, man. What's the numbers on this one?
In my stream, I said 31-24, but I'm going 35-28.
Okay. All right. Wise man, score prediction. What you got on this one, man?
I'm gonna have to say Texans 38, Tennessee Titans 24. 38-24 Texans.
Okay. 10-man, Toxic City Tenny. What's on your mind with this, man? Score prediction, man. What you got?
It's going to be 26-20 Houston Texans.
Okay. So, here's what I'm thinking. And I've told y'all all week, man, it's 166 people in here. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. We should at least have, where we at? How many likes we got, man? Let me see where we at. We need to have at least 100. We need 16 more for 100. And I appreciate the love. Everybody been showing love through the super chat. Here's my prediction. I told y'all after the Broncos game that I was going to be realistic on the Texans, but this is a divisional game. The only team in this fucking league that I hate, I lied, the Tennessee fucking Titans. And I have questions, and I've been reserved, and my thoughts are, what happens here? Ray, he altered my perception a little bit last week. I saw what Jay Dizzle did last week, and what happened, when he finally hit some of that Texans crack. And I've been in rehab. I've been holding strong in rehab all week.
Me too.
It's been fuck the Titans, but then I still look at this Texans team, and I have questions. I know the pattern, but this is where I'm at. I think Watson will come out at 315 passing yards. I think that he will have 2 TDs in the air. I think that Hyde will have 1 rushing touchdown. Appreciate the love, Master P. The 9. I think Will Fultz comes out of this game with 89 yards and a touchdown. I think Hop has 112 and a touchdown. I think Steele gets you about 54. And I think between Johnson and the tight ends, you get you about 60 or so. I think Hyde gives you about 78 yards rushing total. I don't have I'm not sure for Johnson. Depends on how he gets utilized. But I'm going to go with a prediction that the Texans lose this game 27-24. And I'm going with that on some late game. I won't call it garbage time. I think the Texans make a push late, but I think that they fall short in this game. And as much as I say this, it's still fuck the Titans. Fuck y'all.
Yeah.
Because y'all still got a lot of work to do. I think the Texans still ultimately win the division in the long run, but I think that the Texans end up falling short this game. And as much as I hate to say it, I just got to be. Bill O'Brien has to prove me wrong at this point. You know, he has to show me that he has his team prepared. And I'd be more than happy to eat crow after the game. And it is what it is. And I think part of that is the push to get Billy O out of here for more long-term success for this franchise. But I just don't believe in him. And I think something happens there. I think Vrabel exposes him. I think Vrabel knows him a little bit better than anybody else may want to acknowledge. And Vrabel's a bonehead. And just like he said, you know, neither one of us think that much. But here's the deal. As we start to wind down to, you know, get ready for the game, I think we got a couple of things. Like I say, immediately after the game, we will be live for the post-game show. I think that I would love to definitely hear y'all's calls. You know, we'll spill our sauce for about 30 minutes, and then we'll take some calls. Make sure you're following Sauce Sports HTX on Instagram and Twitter. Aside from that, man, you guys got anything you want to say? Starting with Wink, you got anything you want to say to the people before we get up out of here?
Fuck the whole ass tight.
Already. Wise man, what's on your mind? Anything you want to say to the people before we get up out of here, man?
I just want to retweet what Wing just said. Fuck the Titans.
Okay. Dr. City Tenny, man, what's on your mind? Anything you want to tell the people before we get up out of here?
He's going to grab meth and imagine elsewhere.
My thoughts, my feelings. It's fuck the Titans. All day, every day. Fuck the motherfucking Titans. But it's fuck Bill O'Brien too at this point until he shows me otherwise. Yes. You know, until he shows me that it's relevant.
Yeah, we gotta say that too.
Fuck Bill O'Brien. Fuck Ray.
Until he proves me otherwise.
Fuck both of them motherfuckers.
You know what I'm saying? So, but with that being said, man, we appreciate all y'all coming through. It's about that time, man. It's about time to get live for the game. Y'all tune in. Like I say, immediately, if you are a Patreon supporter, make sure you join the Discord chat. We're gonna be on there talking shit all game long, as y'all know how we tend to do it. But with that being said, y'all be cool like y'all be cool. Y'all the freshest motherfucking ingredients in the world. Most of all, y'all stay saucy. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Hey, Jack, and we out.
Perfect.